Someone set the script on fire, didn't they?
Yeah, that was my script.
Because for legal purposes, that did not happen.
Hello and welcome to the Cinescope podcast, the show where indie filmmaking meets fandom, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Luke Walters, and as always, each week I am joined by a gaggle of fellow creators, writers, actors, directors, producers, hat wearers. But again, he's not wearing a hat this time because of lighting reasons. And we're going to be diving into movies, TV, and what really happens behind the scenes. But this time we're going to be talking about, so we've spoken about how we made War of the Worlds with Mr. Carley as the lead. But now we're going to be talking about how we made The Time Machine with Mr. James Dorman, not to be confused with Jamie Dorman from 50 Shades.
It's an easy mistake to make, clearly.
Yeah. But now we're going to be talking about how I made The Time Machine. So, hello everyone, how are you? Jamie, it's nice to see you here.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's not bad. Is
Thank you for having me again.
Again, hey, anytime.
Thank you.
My little partner in crime. So, yeah, we started with I Made War of the Worlds, and then I think we kind of pitched it as a... When did we first start toying with doing a sequel to it? Because it's kind of like a Hot Fuzz-esque sequel.
I'm sure that you were talking to me about it like when we were doing it, because when I auditioned for it or applied for it, it was the Orson Welles complex.
Yeah,
then it became
yes.
I Made War of the Worlds, with the idea of it being, I think by that point, as at least talking to you about it, I'm sure that there was at least some idea for it to be part
Franchise
of
it.
Yeah,
Franchise it.
I Made Cinematic Universe.
Do you remember this?
I remember having various conversations, but I think it was over alcohol.
Yeah.
So
I think we
it
were
was a very
toying with
blurry.
the feature idea, at least. Like, could it be expanded? I think we were definitely talking about other things we could do with the team.
Yeah, but I made The Time Machine. Yeah, I can't remember where it... I remember something to read, because you come around one day and we watched the original Time Machine, and then you lent me your DVD for several months.
I made a note
a long
to make
movie.
sure to get it back.
Peter Jackson from...
Yeah, he's got it back. He's got it back now. And as soon as I'm moving out, he's like, I want all my DVDs back.
Yeah. Which meant you didn't need to move much stuff into your own house.
No. But yeah, do you remember first coming up? Well, no. Do you remember the original ideas we had for it? Because originally it was going to be essentially a straight up adaptation of The Time Machine, kind of.
I think we were approaching it from two different angles. I think you wanted the straight adaptation, and I was leaning more towards like Safety Not Guaranteed, where it was the protagonist building a time machine in his shed, and is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is he crazy? Is he a genius? And I think we were just then combining both ideas, and we weren't just beating both ideas until it became a single concept.
The original one was James's character was the time traveler, because you were in H.G. Wells at the time, and he goes into the future, and the future's run the Morlocks and what they call the Morlocks and the I can't remember the other one, but yeah, they were
Eloy.
Yeah, Morlocks and Eloy were Tories and Labour.
That was another idea
Subtle.
we had.
Yeah, that was the original idea.
Which is actually sticking with the original concepts, because that's what H.G. Wells was leaning towards, the whole idea of the class system evolving the human race into two separate races. So I think we were leaning towards that idea, and then we were like, it's a little too political for what we wanted to do. Let's go back to basics. And I think then you watched Hot Fuzz. I think you watched...
No. So I was driving to Ellie's, and I was listening to Indie Film Hustle, which is a podcast about Alex Ferrari, and it's really good. There's any filmmakers out there that want to listen to an indie filmmaking podcast that's not this one. Indie Film Hustle is really good. You should check it out. But he was having a conversation with Steve Kaplan, who wrote the Comic Hero's Journey book. And I was like, incidentally, I Made War of the Worlds fits it perfectly without me really knowing. And then it was listening to that podcast that
because we spoke about it for a long time.
That I come up with the idea of, what if it was just H.G. Wells as a time traveler? And then it kind of spiraled from there, and then it become what it was.
I think also you watch Safety Not Guaranteed.
I
as
did,
well.
yeah. I bought it on Amazon. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought it on Amazon. I was like, oh, this is really good. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, good show. Yeah. Yeah, so it originally stemmed from an indie filmmaking podcast. Otherwise, you would have been fighting Tories and Labour. That's where it come from.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded.
We can do that right now.
Yeah.
That's fascinating, actually, because like where it landed was really, really. I mean, I like it a lot, not just because I'm like the
In
lead
it.
in it,
Yeah.
but every single iteration sounds like it would have been fantastic.
It was a bit of a mad time because we didn't know what to do because we were bouncing around ideas. Like it was changing
All the
daily.
time.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing I think I was aware of is that, you know, we're all still in touch and mustache.
Oh,
We're all
that
still in touch and we
mustache.
all were up for doing something else. And that you'd listen to the podcast and we're like, we kind of accidentally hit all those beats with War of the Worlds.
Yeah. it was
What if
so
we
bizarre.
did that aware of the kind of the formula, but we didn't necessarily have the story to hang it on yet?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was kind of like the other way around.
So I think, yeah, because I did a draft and my original draft was ridiculously Doctor Who heavy. And then you were like,
Yeah, I told you
Every
off for that.
time I get a draft off you, I was just getting rid of like Blink references all the time.
the timey-wimey references,
Yeah.
the Beethoven.
But the characters were there though. They were definitely in the early stages.
Mm.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I remember reading that first draft, which I think was quite a bit longer than we actually
It was
ended up.
30 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, the original draft was 30 pages. Yeah.
Yeah, and you cut a fair bit out because I remember H.G. Wells has written. I remember actually being a bit confused about which role I was meant to be playing because, you know, unlike War of the Worlds, you didn't have me in mind for something straight away. So I was like, oh, what am I actually doing? Because I actually can see why James might have been the time traveler initially, but also H.G. Wells in the version that you sent was also a lot more antagonistic and a bit more malicious, which was an interesting side to him.
See, I didn't think that at all. I just thought he was a bit of a dick. I just thought he was a bit of a bumbling idiot who just happens. I originally envisaged him a bit Matt Smith-esque in like The Lodger or like when he sends up James Corden. He's just like, oh, cool, I'm just doing everything.
Well, that built up the suspicions in my mind about whether it was all kind of like an elaborate joke, an elaborate trap to from John Smith's ex to get one over on him.
That would have been a really good idea.
And then you'd see them at the end, like,
Well,
ha, we got him.
the feature, yeah. That would have been good. I think also we were talking with the idea of if it was all a hoax, I think people would have been expecting that. So let's just bring that magic into it and say time travel is
it's
real.
much more of a sort of in-universe sort of character B-movie than, say, War of the Worlds was, which was about creating that illusion. The illusion is real in Time Machine.
I think one of the discussions Luke and I had, I think, was
How much is this round?
we always do that, don't we?
Yeah, every time we want to talk about a script, it's at a pub.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. It was more a case of when you mentioned the Time Traveller, that would have been more of a faithful adaptation, whereas
Yeah.
previous we riffed on the works and give
Yeah, I
make a
think
love letter to that. So again, we wanted to do the same thing with the Time Machine, where the book exists within the world that these characters also do.
Yeah, and I think that's where we got stuck for the long time. We were chatting about it as if we're just doing a retelling of the Time Machine and not an I-made version, which I think we got stuck on for the longest time. But I think where we settled, I think it turned out
Very well.
By throwing in H.G. Wells as a character.
Yeah, evidently. And a lot of film festivals clearly prefer you as the lead, John, because
A lot.
Ooh,
Controversial.
Backwater.
oh, there was actually 2 film festivals.
Can they withdraw award
okay.
givings?
Oh, I know. But yeah, so how do you think, obviously, getting this script compared to I Made War of the Worlds? Because at this point now, we've done I Made War of the Worlds, we've had the success, we've won 21 awards around the world, and especially the comedy in Iran, which is a highlight for me.
we still need to go to pick up that award.
Yeah, well, they moved the festival to Mexico now. I don't know why.
Is the
There's a
award
movie
still-
of just
the
going around
award
the
still
world
fall?
trying to chase down this award.
Yeah, it's like Catch Me If You Can, but with the comedy award. Yeah, what was your initial thoughts after having I Made War of the Worlds, and then I Made the Time Machine was originally 30 pages, it was a 6-day shoot, and then we cut it down to 22 Then we cut it down to 22 because of people's availability and
Yeah,
schedules.
that was
Then
me again, wasn't it?
it was
I was
because
doing
you
that
were
play.
on a. No,
I was doing off-cut again. Because I remember we were at the launch. I finally got the dates of which dates I was doing, and then 5 minutes later, he said, "Okay, I've finalised the schedule. Now I know when you're free."
Yeah, I think you were on a Netflix show as well.
It's news to me.
Yeah, or it wasn't a Netflix show, but it might be something to do with a famous Irish drink.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Was it a haircut thing again?
Yes, it was a haircut thing again. Yes,
I remember. Yeah. You and your facial hair.
Yeah, we'll go on to the mustache because that's
Oh yes.
that's a
That's a whole episode.
That's a whole podcast.
that's
in
a
itself.
45-minute talking.
we
point.
have the mustache here tonight.
Like, you went full method.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what were your initial thoughts on when you...
I remember exactly what I said to you. Actually. Maybe I'd had the 30-odd page draft, but I was like, in a good way, War of the Worlds was a short film script. This, and maybe I guess it's because you wrote it around that comic hero's journey. I was like, this is a condensed feature. Like, it has all of the beats and rhythm of a feature film, but just in, I guess, 30 minutes at the time.
We
It's more of an
definitely
adventure
wanted to
piece,
go
isn't it?
bigger,
Yeah,
didn't we?
it felt more ambitious, like reading
Yeah.
it straight away.
I think when you watch it now, I think the thing is with I'm in All the World's Nightmare. The time machine is when you go to festivals and watching and blow it on trumpet, but a lot of film festivals are like a show reel scene or something that's very self-contained. And you watch I'm in All the World's Nightmare, the time machine, and they're big and sprawling, and you've got
They got big stories.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. These guys, we're actually trying to do something, and it's like we're actually going out and trying to make a film while not.
It's like
making
almost like
yeah.
a narrative trailer in a way. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
proof of concept thing. Like this
Yeah.
thing works
Well,
on
that's-
its own.
Now that it's available on the Cinescope YouTube channel, a lot of people are saying that. It's like, this feels like a pilot for a series.
Yeah, people said that about both of them.
Never thought about that as a series. That's the one thing that never crossed my mind. As a feature, I could see it.
As a feature, never thought of it as a series.
I think
That's
So
quite
whoever wrote that
interesting.
comment, apparently you're an idiot.
I know who wrote that
Was it you,
comment.
James?
I know who wrote that comment.
Don't
And
say
it was Terry
But-
Cooper, who was a really nice guy. He's Welsh as well, so shout out Terry Cooper.
I think within the I Made HGL series, now we've done 2, we're doing a 3rd one.
Oh, are we?
Are we?
Are we?
Are we?
Yes, we are. We're doing I Made the Invisible Man.
Well, thank God that spoiler wasn't a spoiler, right? So the fact your roles were reversed in that you're the lead, you were apparently not, but even though you're still winning awards.
Supporting lead.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you guys approach how did you approach it? Knowing that you're playing different characters and what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, just go
How
with
is it different?
Yeah. How did you approach it different? Because you led the first one, you're leading the second one.
That part didn't feel particularly different because it didn't really feel like I was leading the second part, because it was more like we were getting our little troop
Felt like an
back together.
ensemble.
Yeah.
And we said this talking about War of the Worlds, that we had a good sort of like rhythm and shorthand, the three of us.
Yeah, because we just slipped back into
Yeah.
it, really, didn't we? Because
And it was
it'd
different
been the
characters,
first
but the
time we'd
same
all
sort
been
of
in the
like-
room since God knows when. Might have even been since we finished War of the Worlds.
Oh, maybe actually. Oh, we'd had a screening at the mini cine, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did,
that-
when,
yeah.
when James
Might-
brings 25 women, apparently. So from
All,
very
all
Didn't
lesbian-
get
I
awards
bring
for it, though, did
my
I?
mum and
Yeah.
dad.
James Dorman, European gigolo, apparently. Jesus. Yeah, I think it was a screen. I think we did one more screening somewhere, and that was the last time we were all
Yeah.
together. I think us three, I think Robin, we all went for a burger
Yeah.
in Almost Famous, and that was when us three were together. I can't remember when all 4 of us or 5 of us were
Yeah,
together.
like we've all seen
essentially.
each other, just not all at the same
Yeah,
time.
not all at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
and he didn't even turn up to the read through, really.
because Time
Well,
Machine.
yeah, I didn't actually. I was ill.
No, yeah, you were. Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't come to the read through.
yeah, because we didn't do a. Don't think we did. No, we did do a read through for.
Yeah,
one.
we did. Yeah,
But like we'd done. Did we do 4 shoot days for Time Machine?
yeah, we did. So originally it was scheduled for 6,
Then you crunched it down
To
by
4,
Shane, taking off 10 pages.
but me and James did 6
yes, you did because you were in the
because
pub.
we added because there's a scene in the middle with Mike Payton where his character.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something about that scene actually. So because the film was at such a breakneck pace, it just needed that moment just to stop and slow right down and just let him take.
yeah, just have that emotional beat like the
Yeah,
Tomb
just
scene
let him
in War of
take
the
it all
Worlds.
in because he's just kicked everyone out. He's just got arrested, and then he's in the pub, and then he has this the stereotype coming in, and he's like, "Oh, you look sad," blah blah blah, and he reiterates everything to him, and he kind of lays it on. But originally, I was going to try and get you back to play that part.
Gone.
No, but you weren't playing H.G. Wells. I was just going to have you
Oh.
come in and play it, and then because we only show the reflection in the mirror, people would be like, "Oh, is that because James' character never really looks at him because he's always looking off?" And then we'd be like, "Oh, would that be another
a descendant?"
Yeah, or that be a version of H.G. Wells? So that was what I.
This is brand new information.
Yeah, so that was.
Why didn't you do that?
That was. He was unavailable.
You got another Irish guy to be a mystical Irishman, despite having Brandon in the thing.
Sorry, just want to talk about H.G. Wells as a character now. Luke's mentioned him. What research did you take in terms of did you look at written works?
God.
I know where you're going with this.
He knows where I'm going. He knows the setup for this one. Like, did you look at live action adaptations if there are, and being a voice actor, why didn't you choose the original voice?
You don't need to spell it out. I know what you're trying to say.
What's that?
Because like the character on the page is very much a character. It doesn't really bear any resemblance to H.G. Wells in real
That
life.
we know of. He could be.
know of.
It's never proven he's not a time traveler.
Yeah, we don't know where he is right now.
Exactly.
It could be next week. But what was a surprise to me is there is actually film footage of H.G. Wells. He was interviewed several times for different things, because I was like trying to get a read on who, just as a starting point, who is this? Because I think the time we had between having the final draft and shooting was like a week or 2 weeks. It was very tight. And I was like saying, okay, how do I get into this character? So I looked up the footage. And one thing, if you look this up, and you can, is very striking straight away, is that he has a very distinctive voice, which isn't what you'd expect. And it's really quite fascinating. But I looked into it, and he had taught in a school in Wales and was accidentally trampled during a rugby match. So he had he had difficulties and things. So he has a very high pitched voice. And I remember reading that Malcolm McDowell played him in a film with David Warner called
Time After
Time. And
which we just got recently on
which
Blu-ray.
we just get on Blu-ray, which we haven't seen yet.
He was like, "Look at this Blu-ray."
I was telling you about it when we filmed it. It's like, H.G. Wells has been a time traveler in a movie. I've never seen it either, but I just know of it.
We'll put a date in the diary.
We'll have to do it.
But Malcolm McDowell looked up the film interviews because he wanted to get his voice. Immediately saw it and went, "No." Which, no disrespect, but it, to an audience, it for what we're doing would have given the wrong tone, and for your character, the plausibility, it wouldn't have been there. So I had to go in the direction of being more of a character and more ambiguous. That it doesn't quite match up to history, but the idea is that John Smith thinks it could be a joke. So that's where I ended up going sort of more impish, antagonistic, sort of intrusive character that is a bit of a fish out of water, but also just kind of making your life hell unintentionally, like
an agent of chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my next question to James. So in both of our H.G. Wells movies, in the roles that you've played, you pretty much played the fall guy to John's characters. How was this one different compared to the last one?
I looked at the journey, and I was like, oh, this is basically every character Martin Freeman's ever played. Like, man accidentally goes on adventure.
Right.
So I tried to, even though I was the lead narratively, because of the way the story progressed, I would be following whatever H.G. Wells did. So when we were filming it, I just tried to really just react off of whatever John was doing, and luckily John apparently put in a lot of hard work. So then I just reacted to that.
Because you had a bit of a wobble as well. Was it just before we were shooting, or after? It was after the first couple of days.
Yeah, because
you come around and you were like, I've messed this up.
I was rehearsing a short play at the time, so I had two scripts sort of fighting for headspace, which I do not recommend to anyone. And just trying to get that handle on who this version of HG was, because we'd kind of jumped into it and I didn't necessarily know what you were going to do. It was very much, okay, start with kind of learn as we go, really. So I had a starting point of a kind of broad idea for the character and then kind of make it up from there, really. Like I said, hard work.
See, this is why a lot of people rehearse stuff rather than just get it on the day.
Because after the first weekend, I was like, this isn't, I wasn't sure if this was landing, because in War of the Worlds, I kind of played, you've said it before, a version of myself.
Yeah.
So to do something so radically in the other direction, I was like, I don't know if this is right, because it was such a different experience. But, you were very good and very reassuring that it was landing. And also I kind of had to set aside sort of my thoughts, because James is the lead character here. I've just got to make him look good. That is the job of a supporting actor. So as long as I sort of hacked you off, it was gonna work. But I think
that's when the cameras weren't rolling.
Oh my God.
But I think it was Brandon who said on the second weekend, when we were in that hot box of a chemistry lab.
Oh,
yeah.
That was on the last day, yeah.
In the week between, he said I'd worked some stuff out, and he said that I was playing it quite differently. So I think across the 2 weekends, it kind of balanced out, and I found a way into it that I wasn't kind of like chasing it or forcing it. So that's just me being totally honest. But I did find it a lot harder to approach this one than I did with War of the Worlds.
So we had some other cast members join in as well. So I think War of the Worlds was yourself, Mr. Carley, Elizabeth, and Anton.
Mm-hmm.
And then for this one, we kind of went John Stewart come in, Rob Peters, Brandon McCaffrey.
We'd built up a bit of a rep.
Elizabeth
by that point,
was
hadn't we?
still in it, albeit as probably a third lead, but stepped back a little bit. She's currently looking through the window as well. Hello. So how did it feel now having it go a bit larger in scale? Because I think even though it is quite a small, intimate story, but we do have
the characters within their orbits.
Yeah, we have larger set pieces as well. We've got the time machine breaking. We've got James falling. We've got these really large set. We've got
stunts.
Yeah,
fire.
Yeah,
We had it all.
I
a little bit closer for comfort.
Someone
then.
set the script on fire, didn't they?
Yeah, that was my script. Because
For legal purposes, that did not happen.
I think I gave myself concussion at one point because
you landed on the mat.
when he did, and he was like, "I'm fine, I'm a wrestler." I was like, "Yeah." Oh, now you tell me after I'd done that. But yeah, how did it feel compared to I Made War of the Worlds, where it was a lot smaller? But I think War of the Worlds is
had a few
War of the Worlds
locations
was
as
more
well.
intimate, I think, and for the second one, we wanted to go bigger.
Yeah, but I still think
scale.
it's still a very intimate story. It's
It
just
is, because,
one
like,
man's.
Yeah, and a lot of the scenes break off into 2 or 3 handers as well.
Yeah.
So, like, even though it's bigger in scope and there are more characters, it's still mainly like a lot of the scenes are just 2 handers as well. So it retains that intimacy while being bigger in scope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
It's more an adventure story. And like I said, the fish out of water for both our characters,
Yeah.
really. It's kind of that meeting in the middle. Like we go on the first day we did the heist.
that was literally the first stuff we shot, wasn't it? Yeah.
Where you nearly killed me with overdosing me with bananas.
No. I think you nearly killed yourself. We were telling you to stop eating bananas. And you were
Okay,
like,
it was that bad. I was like, how do I get out? Just chug bananas. And then, you did the pratfall in the corridor. The tone of it was such
Proudest
a
moment
shift.
of my entire life.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
It was glorious. But I think that just kind of planted a flag of like how far removed in terms of the level this was, because we're in this massive building, this massive space, and just dropped into it. And like I said, we're doing the stunts and that, and then we'd had the blown up time machine out in the car park and smoke and all sorts, and I was all dirtied up.
Oh, that smoke was horrible as well. Yeah, that was.
I think it was pretty carcinogenic, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that at least
For
took,
legal reasons.
I think that took at least 5 years off each of our lives. That little
Absolutely.
scene, but
But
It was
we're always
worth
doing
it,
something different every day. It wasn't
Yeah.
like we were
Well,
just.
I like we front loaded it with all of the fun stuff, which kind of gave the feeling throughout it that's like, yeah, we can play. Like this this is fun.
It
And
was
then
like
the
picking up from War of the Worlds.
And then the dialogue came at the end, but it had that energy going through it.
Yeah.
Even the heavy dialogue stuff like it never was melodramatic either because it had
No,
that
no.
lovely sense of play in it.
I think the college stuff was the hardest day. Like,
Yeah.
that
Just 'cause it was so warm.
It was so hot.
It was like
the
30
hottest day of
degrees
the
in that
year
room.
as well. when you
yeah, it
film
was
that.
just torturous.
And it's a
as well.
very wordy scene. Like I struggled with that because when you're sweating and trying to keep it together, and I think you'd added lines as well to that
No,
bit.
I
Thank
didn't.
you very much.
You just read the wrong sides, Mr. Carley, okay? Everyone else's sides had the correct scenes, but yours was missing one for some reason. So, but you did really well. Like, no one will tell you reading off a piece of paper looking at the floor.
I wasn't reading off a piece of paper.
No, you did really well. 'cause
Needs
you-
must.
Yeah, no, but you
And I was wearing wool, 3 layers of wool in a room that was 30 degrees.
The good thing is your moustache soaked up most of your head sweat
It
anyway.
did,
so
it did.
was
Just a
alright.
sponge.
It just got
bigger.
heavier and heavier as the day progressed.
Just bring it out at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So you brought up the mustache. We're going to have to talk.
was a great
We're
lead-in.
going to have to talk about it now, obviously, because it was
It's
something.
making a bit of a cameo
It
appearance.
is, yeah. It is something
It's
that
camouflaged, but
Like
it's still there.
I was willing to fake it, and I was looking for fake mustaches, and I was like, "It's fine." And you were like,
Not
I'll-
the internet search history I was expecting.
"You'd be surprised." And you were like, "I'll just shave." And I was like, "If you're sure." And then you were coming in 1 minute, you looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin, then Hulk Hogan, and then we settled on
Oh,
the Flanders beard.
yeah. I'd never done that.
The
I'd never
mustache,
grown a beard until last year. And it was just out of pure laziness and the fact that I'd had no reason, no work coming in to do it. So it just kind of happened and the timing kind of worked out. So I was like, yeah, sorry, I'll have the tash for the thing because it was 2 consecutive weekends. I'll just stay indoors for the week in between.
So how was it the week in between living with the tash?
Oh, it's horrifying. Every morning, looking in the bathroom mirror, I was like, ugh. It's scary. I was like, I got a little bit dysmorphic, like seeing that because like, that's not me. It was just like I was wearing a really bad disguise.
I had no idea this was so psychologically traumatic for you.
It was a little bit. It was.
Yeah, accidentally put him through some shit.
Yeah.
oh my
Jesus.
god.
God,
But yeah,
it's like when everyone talks about filming Apocalypse Now. That's what
yeah.
John went through.
Heart of a time machine.
It's like flashbacks to Nam and the mustache.
So during that period between filming,
Yeah, sorry, that was very traumatic for you, but moving on.
moving on, yeah, going, yeah. Did you ever get a chance to like switch off from your character, or every time you saw yourself, you're like, nope, there's H.G. Wells staring back at me?
Oh yeah, no problem with that because the tash was just part of like a bigger costume because we'd gone shopping, got all the bits, put together H.G. Wells's look. So it was more the fact that the mustache was just the one remnant of it, just kind of hanging on my face
Yeah.
that I just couldn't remove. And my plan to stay inside did not. I think I went out every day in that intervening week because I was rehearsing for this play. I was like, this isn't sticking around. This isn't going to be part of the play. Don't get attached to it.
You got
Even though I
cast
was.
because of his mustache.
I was gonna say, did anyone ever comment on it at
Just
all?
children
I
crying.
just walked into
You're
rehearsal
just
one
banned
day
from
just
all
with a
schools.
mustache.
Yeah.
Did
with
it,
no
did it
context.
end you up on a register of any kind?
Did feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Next thing you see John's face sketched on the Crime Watch poster.
Wait, just put the tash on. That's him. That's the guy.
Yeah.
But if we look at now the pub stuff that we did,
Oh,
the
yeah.
pickup scene. So
It sounds to me like you just went to a pub
It
I was
was-
gonna say,
and also
there were-
shot a scene.
I heard that, and you won various acting awards and amazing. I heard that you're a method actor when it comes to.
So that's-
He
operating
was
fun.
thirsty.
no, that's kind of true, kind of not.
Yes.
That's kind of true. So we shot on the 5th day. We shot in I think the King's Arms in
Yes.
Salford.
Yeah.
Who graciously give us the pub. And we did it on the 5th day, and we kind of it didn't really work. We didn't get it all in one. The monologue, it was a hefty monologue for Mike to learn as well. So can't.
And it was
complain.
very late edition.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was very late in the day. So
and you don't even get to see his face.
you would see it in the mirror, but yeah, the way
He's not the fucking lead, is he? So-
just like punching on that mirror for a show reel.
Yeah, because I spoke to Mike, and Mike's like, I love that scene, but you can't see my face. And I was like, yeah, you kind of can. But yeah, for that, on the 5th day, it kind of didn't work, I think, because obviously Mike had a lot to learn. It was a bit choppy and changey, so we had to cut around it.
There were issues with just the audio as well, weren't there?
Yeah, there were issues with the audio
meant
where
to
some
be.
were cut out and stuff as well.
In hindsight, that was like the best thing.
Yeah,
that
and
scene.
because on that day as well, James was drinking the pints, and we did about 4 to 6 takes.
That's where the
I
budget
think I had 5
went.
pints.
He had 5 pints. Yeah, we shot at like
That was in the morning as well, wasn't it?
we shot about 10:30.
Yeah.
I had a swift half on my way home.
Yeah, just a top up.
But then we went back and did it on the next day, and he had non-alcoholic.
Yeah, which was
lager.
actually way harder to get down because it was a non-alcoholic Erdinger and it was a bit heavy.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, all the voiceover for the Time Machine that was filmed after he drank the 5 pints.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Yeah, so him being so the opening and
So that the time travelers.
Yeah,
it was a
so
bit.
It's all right. It's in a scene when you had the bottle of wine down there. So
yeah.
it's, yeah.
Mhm. Ah, the French.
The actor prepares.
makes sense.
Ah, the French.
Makes sense. So yeah, obviously it's done. We get it out relatively quick. I think.
Yeah, the
we sent it-
turnaround was-
Yeah, well, you sent me like a rough cut of it like 2 days later.
I get bored.
How many times did you watch it, James?
Several hundred.
Jesus.
He was messaging me going like, I can see the views going up,
Like,
Yeah.
slow down. It's not
It's
monetized.
like, it's had 46 views in the past day, all from Liverpool. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I watched it. Yeah, so obviously we got around pretty quick, and it's actually done better than War of the Worlds.
Yeah, like
Yes, it has.
Oh,
awards?
yeah. So it's 123 awards. War of the Worlds 121. Obviously, for this one, because there was a lot of us for this one, we've got Brandon, Rob, Elizabeth, Chewy, Chewy, Jonathan Chewett, as I call him, or John Chewett, as he prefers with his legal name.
Can I call him Chewy?
Yeah, I call him
You're called
Punch it, Chewy.
yeah.
I call him
He had
Chewy all
about
the time.
6 different names during the podcast.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting well annoyed at me. Bro, so we had a larger group. So when we were going to, and I think we went to more festivals together for Time Machine than we did War of
we
the
were
Worlds.
prepared.
Yeah, we were kind of prepared.
Took it
what
on the
to
road.
expect this season.
Yeah, but how do you think? Like, did you enjoy the festival run? And I just want to ask, what's the maddest bit of feedback that you heard someone say about the Time Machine, or has anyone just completely not told you any feedback to it?
Like for me, finally getting to see it, I think was just a relief
Yeah,
because I'd had that little wobble. Seeing it sort of in content, in situ, edited together on the screen, as we now knew that is where it was going to go. Kind of it coming home. I was like, okay, I feel a lot better about this now. So that was the main thing, just relief, and that's not on anyone else. That is just on me, because one thing I've always said is that you've always made us look good, and Time Machine is no exception. So when we did the mini cine, got the gang back together.
Yeah.
It was rewarding to see that many of us, the sort of the group that we built up over that year, really come back together and just kind of enjoy the fruits of our labor.
It's nice that happened a couple of times as well. Like at a couple of different screenings, it's like everyone reassembled.
Yeah, like when we
And-
went to Ireland.
Oh, that was
how many of us went?
Obviously, that
Too
was
many.
incredible.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
But we're just able to share that journey more, which was really nice. More amongst ourselves, I think, more than what was coming in from the outside.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to read some
Oh my
feedback
God.
that we had from a film festival. I'm going to read some.
What's that they said about John?
It comes up. So overall, originality 4, direction 5, writing 4, cinematography 4, performance
Out of 10.
10, performances 5, production value 3, pacing 4, structure 3, sound and music 4. The film had an interesting premise and was fun. The direction worked well. He's clearly lying. I think that at the center of the story, time travel wasn't explored enough, and there needed to be more conflict and jeopardy for the main character. But that also
It's a 20-minute short as well.
yeah, but someone else in this film festival also gave us 10 9s and 10s across the board and said, I absolutely love the character of Wells, because of course everyone did. The actor did a fantastic job, as did the rest, but he was my fave. I was totally engaged in it. The slow-mo hero shot in the hallway and the banana peel gag was hilariously fantastic. Great piece, and there's a really nice flow to it. I really like the dry humor in it. Also learned what E equals MCQ means. Smiley face. I see there was one that was an absolute clanger.
Well,
Of course,
art's
yeah.
subjective, but objectively, that first person was a fucking moron.
But this is, like I've said before about my feelings about awards, is that they're nice, but everyone's opinion is subjective. Like no one is going to read or enjoy a piece of media in the same way. It's, it is very nice when you get the good stuff, but someone else's opinion can just not enjoy it. And I think in culture there is a kind of disconnect when people say they do not enjoy it equates to it is bad.
Yeah,
that is not the case.
Sometimes you just don't connect
because
with
sometimes
material,
with
and
like
that's
science
perfectly
fiction,
fine.
with science fiction and comedy, they are two very polarizing genres, and they're so broad that one thing that works for one person is not going to work for the other. So I think take it all with a pinch of salt. But if you find good in the positive stuff, then take that for all it's worth.
So I'm going to read one more. I'm going to read one more. One more, okay? So some of them are quite nice, but this one, originality 8, direction 5, writing 3, cinematography 4, performances 2, production...
Oh, now it's got personal.
Production value 3. I don't know if I shared these with you. Pacing 6, structure 7, sound and music 5.
Is there a dress on there?
Thanks for sharing your film. I appreciate the effort and creativity that went into it. It's clear that there was a lot of ambition behind the concept, and I can see it was aimed to blend several and ideas. That said, I found it difficult to engage with the film overall. One of the main challenges for me was the tone and purpose clearly wasn't defined. At different points, it seemed to aim for comedy, drama, and even elements of a heist film. But none of those
describing the script.
It's a pastel.
But none of those threads felt fully developed or committed. As a result, the film struggled to land in any of those areas that lack clarity and made it hard to connect with the story. The performances didn't come across as convincing, and I found it especially hard to engage with the lead character, who lacked the kind of depth or redeeming qualities that might have helped ground the narrative. By the end, it didn't feel like much had been resolved and the characters had meaningfully evolved, which left the experience feeling incomplete. There's also some confusion in the terms of setting and character roles. For example, adult actors playing student-like roles. Was it meant to be a university? We say university quite a lot during the film.
They seen Grease.
And security guards imitating police.
Yeah, that's the crux of the joke of that scene.
I mean, he says, "I'll ring the police," and a security guard on the back of his outfit.
Yeah.
Those choices added to a general feeling of uncertainty about the world the film was set in. One of the most frustrating aspects for me was the most intriguing character, the one with the most potential to re-explore that was something original and wasn't given the space for develop. The idea, H.G. Wells traveling to the future, has so much potential, but here I felt underused, especially as his role seemed limited, awkwardly explained time travel rather than being part of the deeper narrative. I say all of this with respect for the effort involved and hope it's helpful for future projects.
It's not.
With more clarity, with more clarity in tone, a stronger focus on character, and a commitment to developing more compelling ideas, I think you have the foundation for something stronger. I look forward to seeing how your work evolves.
Is it John Smith's ex?
Yeah. Someone did. Yeah. Someone also said this is like student level unlucky. So
I think the type of people that watch The Goonies and don't understand why there's no social issues in it.
Yeah. But then you look at it and then we go and win 23 awards across the globe. So
yeah, I mean, it is subjective, and I think the positives outweigh the negatives. But it does work for some people and they do get enjoyment out of it. I think that if you don't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah. No,
and
exactly.
in response to like it being underdeveloped, like James said, it is a 20-minute short. It is kind of what it is, but I think it does have that potential there to be expanded.
I think
what happens
there
next.
is a complete arc in 20 minutes as well. I think
Yeah.
it's weird that that's their take on it, because my thought of one of the strengths of it was that we do manage to actually have quite a rounded character story in a really short space of time.
Yeah.
So it's strange. But I don't know. Like, the best thing I can say about it is I won a bunch of awards now. I've watched it loads, because I was watching it loads to try and pick out stuff for my show reel, and I was able to watch it over and over and over again.
The show reel is just the film now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at
20
one point,
minutes.
actually. My agent was like, get some of it out there, but keep the falls. So
Of course.
But like, I don't hate watching myself in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't nitpick the mechanics of my performance each time I watch it, because even when I'm watching snippets to take a scene, I just I end up watching the scene and being like, it flows really nicely. The story works. I am serving the story well. I'm just very happy with what I did.
Yeah.
Your breakdown scene where he's just
The
that's
scene
in the reel, right?
The scene
It is. In
Good.
fact, I think and one version of it, like sort of like the image for the video, like the still image for the video, is me doing like the the Michael Keaton Batman
Oh,
face.
I tell you what,
You want to get nuts?
every film festival we go to, it's always that when he does do that always gets a laugh, and I'm just like, oh god. So going back then, so what was your favorite memory of the shoot? Because I had a lot of fun on that shoot, like a hell of a lot of fun.
We were gutted when it was over.
Yeah, it was really sad when it was over.
We had like post-shoot blues.
Oh, it was horrible. But yeah, but looking at a positive, so what was the most fun you had on the shoot, and what did you take away from the shoot?
Do you know, it reinforced this feeling that we've got like a really, really strong ensemble of like talented people, not just like our lovely little like acting company that has grown out of it, but a lot of the same crew came back from War of the Worlds, and then even more, and presumably they'll all be back for Invisible Man as well. So it's like it's really cool that we've got this team. And I was like, yeah, no, we really found our stride with just on the second one.
Yeah.
That felt amazing. And then even things like when we were filming Ellie's mum and dad's, and then we all went for a Sunday roast after. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was nice.
We did a lot of travelling on that shoot.
Yeah, we did. We shot in Yorkshire, we shot in Manchester.
We clocked up some miles.
Yeah. So yeah, same question to you. What's your most memorable moment, or what did you take away from that shoot?
Quite similar, really, in that it was. I know from the outset it can appear like, oh, we just sort of work with our mates, but everyone is very talented first and foremost.
Yeah.
And we're not mates.
We hate each other.
I slept on my sofa.
But the fact that we all get on so well is an absolute bonus. So being able to be on something where you can do something as mad as
slipping on a banana,
and
I can't believe I
eating
wrote
the
the banana
bananas,
gag.
and
I can't believe it works as well as it does.
Yeah, I know.
And nearly getting set on fire, but still
No,
being able
I was careful.
Allegedly.
practice safe fire, kids.
I do have a fire license, but I set fire to it.
like floor there.
No.
Oh right.
No.
But like being able to, like say, see you tomorrow, and I'm paraphrasing something John Truitt said to me once. It's such a privilege, really, and a lovely feeling, and to know what you're going into, and to be confident that even though I wasn't this time round, other people had my back.
Yeah.
And we were all there to support each other and all that. And as we went on, I did find those opportunities to play within that character and do stuff that I couldn't do the other time, and just make something of that, really, and then come up with ideas and just to look back on how it's grown.
So what about for you? Because you were there for the entire shoot. You were in
That's
there
what I was going to say. I was actually present for this one. So
and there was no double take. You're in it.
I'm in
You
it.
are in it. We're keeping up the.
I did a double take, but it was out of shot.
Did you?
No.
Oh, if there's anything I'm learning, I'm very gullible. I'm so gullible.
That's twice now.
Yeah. Very believable,
for me-
Jamie. Your Honour.
It's acting. I'm going to win awards for the next one.
Sorry, Ellie.
I'm sorry, I'm joking. I'm not in
The
it.
Invisible Man's going to be really small.
Yeah.
He's very visible. He's just small.
It's just the hat moving across the floor.
Hat and glasses.
For me, it was just nice to be there for
Yeah.
it, and just watching you guys work your magic and being in the zone. And then also the other thing is, to go from ideas and me and you just having a few pints and trying to find the story, and to go from the script, from notes to a script, to then being on set and seeing not just 3 or 4 actors, but wider. So we had more actors for this one.
We had extras as well.
Extras.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, of course.
And a bigger crew as well.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah, we did,
production
yeah.
values and the ambition behind it. And
Not according to this feedback.
well,
We had
it
no-
was really nice working on this student film.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you guys. Did you feel sort of more relaxed doing this one? Or did you feel like there was more pressure?
I think Luke was more relaxed this one. I think he was more confident on this shoot, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I think after I thought it was a bit more ambitious, and I think the more getting closer to it, I was like, I might have fucked this, to be honest. I was like, I don't
The
know.
turnaround was a lot quicker because like War of the Worlds, like you said, has been years in the making and the prep.
Yeah,
and we've gone through the casting process.
Yeah, this one was, I don't know.
We slipped right into this.
And it's the first time working with Tom as well, who was our DOP, who's very talented.
Yeah.
So it was the first time working with that. And normally, like, you have a relationship and it's like, cool. And he was very, very prepared. And I was like, I want these 2 shots. And I was like, cool.
He had a shot list. He had everything.
Yeah, Tom was, to be fair to me, he was very diligent and he was very prepared. And I don't know, that took a lot of pressure off me. So when I come into it, I was...
Kieran as well, focused.
Yeah,
we had runners. We had a lot more crew. We surrounded ourselves with talent, didn't we?
Yeah, so I think the pressure was off me as so much of like, right, okay, you're going to deal with this or deal with this. I think it was a lot more
pressure just kind of spread.
Yeah,
across.
And it was a lot. I think Spielberg said once in the podcast, not a podcast, because
was Spielberg on it?
Yeah, that's
You
next
just
week.
missed him.
Yeah, you just missed him.
What a shame. He's taking his dinosaur.
But no, I remember listening to a podcast on Indie Film Hustle again, which I'm bringing that back up, where I think someone was in Saving Private Ryan or in a film with Spielberg, and he was like, he's not directing me. Like, I'm just doing what I'm doing, like, and he was like, what am I doing wrong? And then, like, after, like, on the 5th day of the shoot, he come up to him and he was like, what do you want? Like, what am I doing wrong? You're not giving me anything. And he was like, oh, well, if I want to direct you, like, if you're doing anything wrong, I'll come up and tell you, like, and then I'll direct you.
Terrifying thing as an actor.
Yeah,
I'm glad you told me that at one point, because I was like, I'm going to assume that it's all okay unless Luke tells me different.
But that's and then I listened to it. I read a bit further and listened to him, and I was like, Spielberg said he doesn't really direct. He casts really well.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's kind of taking that as well.
Oven ready.
Yeah. And then we kind of got, obviously we've worked together before as well. And we had the read through and we kind of made some tweaks on the read through. And then, but yourself, Ellie, I don't know why I'm putting there and saying Ellie. Yeah. Yourself, James, Ellie, Brandon, Rob. It's like, you're all very good actors and you all know your roles pretty much and you all slipped in. So it was like, I might come in now and again and be like, oh, just try it this way. But it's not really me being like, I don't have to come in and be like, right, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this.
I hope you tell me if it wasn't working, because
of course I was. Yeah.
One of the reasons I was anxious
news
was
for
like,
you now.
If it wasn't, you'd probably let me get away with murder.
No, of course not. I'd never let you get away.
Not
with
on my film.
It's like, come on, what are you doing? Cut it out. Cut it out. It's not about you.
We knew what to expect with this one more, because we did more short films in between that as well.
Yeah, we did.
So
Yeah. So
we found our feet, didn't we?
So we know how each other works, and I think it's kind of like, right, okay. Then coming on to this one, it is a lot more ambitious, and it is right, okay. Well, it's very different to War of the Worlds, but it's very similar at the same time. And it's like you always want to do your one up. You want to do one better, which is quite ironic. So I'll tell a little story of
in terms of what to prove. We know that we can do well.
We can deliver.
It's just a case of not dropping below that.
Yeah. But when we were in, so we were at Hooverville last year, and that was when Time Machine was done first, if you remember. So we had a night out in Pop World, £1.50 drinks. We had a great time.
We had an amazing time.
But then me, him, and Rob Peters went back to the Airbnb, and I was like, do you want to see the cut? And he was like, yeah, I'll watch it. So I think we had
just been circumcised.
So, I think you've seen it already,
Machine
at this point.
Yeah.
But so I showed Rob it, and I was like, right. So Rob watched it, and he was like, yeah, I prefer War of the Worlds. And I was like, oh, you're wrong. I was like, you're so wrong.
That's what a night out in Pot World does to you, Rob.
It makes you wrong.
But then I was like, this is kind of like our Hot Fuzz to Shaun of the Dead. I was like, everyone's gonna love Shaun of the Dead, but Hot Fuzz is the better movie. And he was like, oh, I don't know. I know if you ask him that story, you'll probably relent and be like, oh yeah, well, I'm in this one, but
it's a
I
shift.
Get it.
It's different.
It's very different. Yeah. So I'd say, long answer, I'd say, yeah, the pressure was off. I enjoyed this a lot more. I thought that crew right there at that time, like we were saying,
confident that formula.
We could make it. If we were shooting for 2 weeks a feature film, like we would have smashed that, and it'd be amazing. If we lifted that crew over, I would have no problems that we make a really good feature film, and everyone would enjoy it.
Exactly what Luke said, but imagine me saying it.
You're wrong.
It immediately makes me suspicious.
Yeah.
So there we have it, and that is how we made the Time Machine. Again, thank you to Mr. Carley, the weirdo with a beardo, James Dorman from 50 Shades of Liverpool, Jaime Carroll
from Luke's backyard.
I have a god. Oh my god. And
No.
myself. No, yeah.
You do now.
Please do go check out. I made War of the Worlds and Time Machine on the Cinescope YouTube channel. Go check out John Carley's Big Finish work as well as War Doctor. We'll have a lot more of these coming up soon. So don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and we will see you for the next one.